this out.
Yes. Great.
Now then, what has happened here is that by being aware of being aware, being able to represent what goes on fundamentally in terms of a system of symbols, such as words, such as numbers, you put, as it were, two lives together at once, one representing the other. The symbols representing the reality, the money representing the wealth. And if you don't realize that the symbol is really secondary, it doesn't have the same value. You know, people go to the supermarket and they get a whole cartload of goodies and they drive it through, and then the clerk fixes up the counter and this long tape comes out. And you say, $30, please. And everybody feels depressed. Because they give away $30 worth of paper, but they've got a cartload of goodies. They don't think about that. They think they just lost $30. But you've got the real wealth in the cart. All you parted with was the paper. Because the paper in our system becomes more valuable than the wealth. It represents power, potentiality, whereas the wealth, you think, oh, well, that's just necessary. You've got to eat. Well, I mean, that's to be really mixed up. So then, if you awaken from this illusion, and you understand that black implies white, self implies other, life implies death, or shall I say, death implies life. You can feel yourself not as a stranger in the world, not as something here on probation, not as something that has arrived here by fluke, but you can begin to feel your own existence as absolutely fundamental. What you are basically, deep, deep down, far, far in, is simply the fabric and structure of existence itself. Because if you play life on the supposition that you're a helpless little puppet that got involved, or if you play it on the supposition that it's a frightful, serious risk and that we really ought to do something about it and so on, it's a drag. There's no point in going on living unless we make the assumption that the situation of life is optimal. That really and truly we are all in a state of total bliss and delight. But we are going to pretend we aren't just for kicks. You play non-bliss in order to be able to experience bliss. And you can go as far out as non-bliss as you want to go. And when you wake up, it'll be great. You know, you can slam yourself on the head with a hammer because it's so nice when you stop. And it makes you realize, you see, how great things are when you forget that that's the way it is. And that's just like black and white. You don't know black unless you know white. You don't know white unless you know black. This is simply fundamental. So then, here's the drama. My metaphysics, let me be perfectly frank with you, are that there is the central self. You can call it God, you can call it anything you like. And it's all of us. It's playing all the parts of all beings whatsoever, everywhere and anywhere. And it's playing the game of hide and seek with itself. It gets lost, it gets involved in the farthest out adventures, but in the end, it always wakes up and comes back to itself. And when you're ready to wake up, you're going to wake up. And if you're not ready, you're going to stay pretending that you're just a little, poor little me. And since you're all here and engaged in this sort of inquiry and listening to this sort of lecture, I assume that you're all on the process of waking up. Or else you're teasing yourselves with some kind of flirtation with waking up, which you're not serious about. But I assume maybe you are, not serious but sincere, that you are ready to wake up.
All right.
Very nice.
It's great, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. There we are.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, that was Alan Watts, right? Pretty deep.
I heard of that. Yeah.
But so profound, you know, and so simple at the same time. We make
Makes you
everything.
think.
We make everything so complicated.
I know, huh?
It's the
It's just
simple.
like opposites. Opposites attract. There's just no way of getting around it.
Yeah, and you can't realize one unless you realize the other. Like night and day, you know what day is because you know what night is. If there was just day, then you wouldn't know what night was. You know, so that's, or you wouldn't know what day was if you never experienced night because it would be always day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea of the process of waking up. You know, and feeling your own existence as something fundamental, which is profound. You know, it's deep. So, and the fabric of existence itself is being in the state of total bliss and delight, which is what it should be. There's nothing more than
Right.
every day should be total bliss and delight. And then we make it so complicated. Like when you're born as a baby, you're born in bliss and delight. Everything is like, wow.
Everything's a state of mind, you know. How you choose to look at things, how you choose to wake up in the morning, you know, just it's choices.
Yes, definitely. And you can change that like that, right? Because it's all it is a state of mind. So once you change that, which isn't easy, but it can change in an instant. Yeah, that's crazy. And then also if you look at it in perspective of doing a new project or doing a business, it shouldn't be difficult either because all that should be bliss and delight, you know, all the hard stuff, all the work is just part of life. So it should be bliss and delight and talking to people and just doing your daily thing is your daily life. We always look at it as work, and then once the work is over, then we enjoy ourselves right after, or once the whatever it is we're doing is a success, then we can enjoy it. But really, it's just life. It's always just life. So and I think a lot of people are not woken up. And I think us as a group and our community is that everyone is on that path of waking up, of doing something different, and being, you know, at least ready to wake up and on the process of waking up. Because
well, it's individual. I mean, not everybody knows what everybody else knows or cares, and people have blinders on, and you know, it's a choice. So, and everybody's situation is unique. I mean, it's
yeah, and everybody's so busy doing stuff that they don't have time to be woken up and in the state of bliss and delight and happiness. So
yeah.
I think that's awesome. And where are you calling in from? I forget. You always look like you're
I'm in California. Northern California, Sacramento area.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you look like you're always in Cambodia somewhere.
The rainforest.
In the rainforest, that's right. Because that's not California, right? That scene.
No, it's just a picture from Zoom.
Yeah. But you don't know where it is, where the picture's from.
No.
It could be California, it could be BC.
Palm tree back there, yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Or is that a pot plant?
It does look like a pot plant,
I know, I just saw that. Oh my gosh.
but that one thing makes it look tropical for sure. If that wasn't there, it could be BC.
The orange, it's back
Yeah.
here in the back. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh my gosh.
yeah, that's a bit of depth. So awesome. Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about anything with regards to the business.
I can share what I've been doing. It's
Okay.
similar to what others are doing. It's like I used to do a lot of recruiting with my other health and wellness building business, and my team, I think, is almost at 500. It's like 478 or something like that. So I joined, when I started that business, I joined a lot of work from home groups, and I just posted in there constantly about, what my opportunity was.
Right.
And the difference between that and LifeWave is that to join that was free. And LifeWave to get in is at least $25. So I'm still getting hits and comments on those posts. And so when I go in there, I'll comment on, well, there were a lot of people that are in different countries than what that other business wasn't in yet. So where LifeWave is. So I'll go back to them and add a comment with the LifeWave information. And of course, it goes, they'll get a notification from Facebook. And then I'll also go into their messenger and leave a message.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I like what Mark shared yesterday is if you comment or like on one of their posts, then they're going to get two notifications besides that, one that you liked it and one that you
Right.
commented. And I also like the idea if you're going to comment on it, you might as well put in a compliment of something that they've been talking about, because then
Right.
someone's going to read it and
Yeah.
it's already
Yeah.
kind of a warm-up connection with people because they notice that you commented, because everybody notice who comments on their posts. And you can can't you sort by country in your Facebook friends? I think you can.
Yeah, you can do different friends lists. You can also sort by country in Messenger. So just started, because I had different Messenger groups for different countries, so that, because I got a lot of like Nigerian and the Philippines and every country that wanted to join my other business, but we weren't in that yet. So that whenever I had something just for that country, I would just, send a message in that Messenger group.
Right. Yeah, that's great because LifeWave is in 100 different countries around the world. So one thing is, out of 100 countries to choose from, there's no point in talking to somebody from not one of those 100 countries. That's one thing, because a lot of people I find that contacted me from Africa.
Yeah.
And there's not too many. I don't think there is any African countries that are on the list. So you can get around that. You can just put your address in the U.S. or somewhere else, what you have. But I might as well start with 100 or at least the top 6.
There's so many others. Yeah. Well, we're in South Africa.
In South Africa, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the only country though
In Africa, yeah.
Because I get Nigeria, people contact me from Nigeria.
I have a binder that I keep all my notes in for LifeWave, and instead of going back and forth to the website all the time, I wrote down all the countries. Let me see if I can get in.
Oh.
So when I'm in Messenger, Facebook, wherever, and I see where they're at, I'll just look here, and then if they're in our country, then I continue.
Right. Where how much time to put into it, not on the list. Yeah, I find it fairly easy is to go. Yeah, you do have to log in, but I log in and there's the drop-down box which asks you, usually it's set for wherever country you've chosen. Because since my address is in Canada, because that's where I'm from, that's where or I pay my taxes. But my address is in Mexico. So I didn't realize this, but when I can order in both countries, but you have to change the drop-down menu.
Right.
So I can't put in a Mexico address unless I change the country to Mexico. Then I can put in my Mexico address.
But
Won't
in your back office, you have your physical address and then you can choose a shipping address.
But still, yeah, true. I think you could do both. Yeah. But you would still have to change the country in order to enter that address. So, and so
Should
what,
have to.
yeah, I'll check it again. It confused me the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, so I can ship to Canada anytime. I just change my address and then it ships there. Because the other thing it does is when you choose the country, it changes the products that are available.
Right, right,
Not all products are available in all countries.
right.
And so there's a couple things not available in Mexico. And so just, that's the main reason for changing. But as soon as you hit the drop-down menu, it lists all the countries.
Yeah.
Check that list very easy. Yeah, maybe it'd be, I never tried that. Maybe possible to copy and paste that list when it shows up and then put that
I wasn't able to do that. Yeah. So I just wrote it all down on my page in my notebook at the front.
But yeah, there's so many countries to focus on and target to, especially being online. And like you said, that was a good point. There might be some countries that are really looking for opportunities, but they don't have many options because the companies aren't in those countries.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then looking for countries that people are really, really accepted to doing something online and doing something in the space.
Right.
I think we were talking about that yesterday too on Mark's call, was the Asian countries,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's, you know, you could just focus on one country.
Yeah.
So that's,
And also on Facebook, there are actually work from home groups that are like Scotland or Finland or whatever, where you can want to
Yeah.
target a certain country, just go into those groups.
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that today. I've been joining a lot of groups over the years. I'm a member of a lot of groups. I've never tried the work at home groups. As far as, you know, it's the same thing. You just become a member of that group, get accepted, you know, be active there, send a few messages, right? That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then I'll go through the list of members without spamming people, but just choosing the people that look, you know, like they're legitimate people, because there's a lot of, you know, they have a picture, for instance, they got a picture, and then I'll send them a friend request, and then I'll immediately send them a message on Messenger saying,
Mhm.
hey, we're in this group together. That's cool. And that's it, really. It's just to make a connection. And then when someone does respond saying, hey, thanks for connecting or whatever, then I'll build that relationship, you know, just with chit chat and stuff. And then maybe it will go somewhere and maybe it won't. That's been my approach. You know, there's also the approach you can just start firing them stuff at that point. But I don't use the approach where I'm following up on anybody unless they're responding.
Yeah.
On my list.
That's why where Mark changed his contact list from 7 contacts to 5.
Follow-ups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 7 follow-ups.
Yeah, that he initially had it 7, and then he changed it to 5.
Right. Yeah.
As far as from what he's doing, so yeah.
And I think that's still evolving and still kind of tweaking it to see what works best.
Mm-hmm.
I think once I'm still looking for things to follow up with. Like we have 3 or 4 different things we can follow up with.
Uh-huh.
There's so many great ones, so many great videos and testimonials and things that I'm just trying to tweak that and figure out what's
Mhm.
working the best there.
Yeah, I use a lot of the share options in the app to send the message in Messenger or in like a text message. You can just copy and paste the note that they generate to put into Messenger or wherever. And then it all goes back to you. Whenever they click on it, you get the email or text saying that they just opened it up or whatever the status. So
Yep. So you're using the LifeWave app. The
interchanging between that and my
Yeah.
son,
Yeah, me too.
depending on how the conversation flows.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And how's it going connecting with people every day regularly? One a day, two a day, or are you
I'm doing between 3 and 5, and then all my follow-ups.
okay?
I met my son who's in Chicago right now. He has a dog. He got himself a dog, but his dog is driving him crazy with anxiety and being Houdini, trying to get out of his cage. And I told him, I says, well, let me send you some patches. He goes, I don't want to try that stuff, Mom. I don't believe in that stuff. I'm like, Sean, just try it. I'll send you some samples. He said, okay. First he said he'd try CBD. And I said, well, you should try the patches. I think they'll work better and faster. He said, okay, I'll try the patches. So I got to send him some of those, but yeah.
Wow.
I want him to use it on himself because he had hurt his ankle, sprained it, whatever. And he goes, Mom, that's nothing is going to heal that. It's just going to be on its own. I'm like, just use it.
That's amazing how it
So
works.
skeptical.
It's
I
almost,
know.
it's unbelievable, isn't it? It's like, it's hard for people to believe, and it's hard to believe even if you've tried it. It's like, wow.
Mhm.
wow, this
It's
is
like
great.
the pain in my wrist. I mean, I'm not even taking the gabapentin anymore at all. It's just the patches.
Yeah,
It feels so good to be off of that medicine. It's like horrible
Wow.
side effects.
Yeah, it's just one of these things you have to try to believe it, and I think the more you look into it and research a little bit about what went in behind the scenes to create it, and the patents and the research and the millions of dollars and all that stuff, then you start to believe more in your mind, hey, wow, this is really something real. But there's no doubt on the results. You try it, it works, and
Yeah.
so I'm
Well, he's
actually
one of the people that, and this is his idea, he's going to be skeptical about it unless you prove him wrong or prove him whatever, to get him enough to look into it. That's why I said, I'll send you some sample patches to try.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna try the energy enhancer patch. Tom brought that up, that brought that point up, and what he's doing is because I haven't tried that patch yet, but he said that he's found that patch gives immediate results, and that will make people believe it, just like the pain patches do. For some people, that pain patch works instantly to reduce pain, and so that now you're a believer, like that, hey, it's working here. So I'm going to try that, and if I experience those results, I'm going to start sharing that with people. The energy.
my only thing with like the ice wave and the energy enhancer, that there is a 2-patch system, but you only get 15 days worth instead of a whole month.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I wish it'd be a whole month's worth because
Oh.
it's still just 30 patches, but because it's a 2-patch system,
Oh,
you're getting 15 of each for the 30.
good point. Is that true? I didn't read.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 15 of each and not 30 of each.
Mhm,
Okay, yeah, because it says 30 on that side. So.
mhm.
It's funny, even when I first got the pain patches, I didn't realize there was 2 patches inside the sleeve, a brown one and a white one. And I was just giving and trying them on people, and then one at a time. Sometimes they would be white.
I'm one of the white one.
And then I didn't realize, like, when you don't realize something, oh yeah, how come some of them are brown and some of them are white? But then I looked up the videos on how to apply them, and wow, what a difference that makes.
Well, even in the instruction book, it says where to put each.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
don't read it.
You don't read that. I know. Yeah.
That was the first week or two, right? Until I realized it was a placement strategy and all this stuff. And yeah, it just wasn't easy to notice that all the patches, different colors. But anyway.
Mhm. And I also keep in my purse a sleeve of the X39 and AccuLife because there's a lot of horses in my area. So
Uh,
if I come across something right there, I want to have those patches on me.
Yeah, me too. I always carry a couple with me in my wallet. So I can just, because if someone sees them, at least it's a little bit more real. These are
Mhm.
this is it. And if you give it to somebody. So have you, I know some people that own horses too. I'm hoping to speak to them. Because that's another thing. If they try them and they'll notice that they work or they don't work right away. It's
Yeah.
not like some.
Well, I like how that video shows and explains like how you find the tender point in a horse and then put the patch there.
Okay, and people that have horses are gonna know that. I think, knowledgeable of that. Yeah, I want to get.
Yeah, when you've had a horse for a long time, you know its temperament, you know when it's in pain or not right. So
Yeah, and if you can see that. Okay, cool. It says my internet connection is not stable. Anyway, we
yeah,
got. You
I
can
hear
see.
it wavering.
Oh yeah, okay, it just popped up.
Mhm.
Anyway, we only have a few minutes left anyway, so yeah, that was awesome. It's great connecting with you, and we'll connect again tomorrow. I think I like the idea of just keeping the daily momentum up. It helps for me. Just meeting daily and just getting a recharge. The thing about the online world is you just kind of feel all by yourself all the time. I don't know if you find that, but I find connecting with everyone on a regular basis has been awesome. So.
Yeah,
Okay, so we'll wrap it up before my connection cuts out here.
I know, huh?
Awesome. Have an awesome day.
You
And,
too. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for being here too. And it was great connecting and great chatting. Okay. Awesome. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.